This is episode 5 of my washing machine series. In this episode I'm going to take the motor out of our old washing machine. This is part of the project when you're going to take the whole machine apart piece by piece. Now I've already took the counterweights off, front panel off, to make it easier to move around. So today I'm going to take the actual drive motor off and I'll show you what that looks like. Right, so what I've done for ease is I've turned the washing machine upside down. Now if you've seen the series you'll have known what's going on and that regarding the washing machines, the new one and this old one. But I wanted to introduce everything because if you just look back at the videos you'll know what's been going on. I'm just going to focus this video on the removal of this drive motor. So as I say, this machine's finished. It's going to be getting taken apart piece by piece. The first thing I'm going to do now is I've basically turned the machine upside down to make it easier on my back. It's much easier to work when it's here like this, rather than try to work on the underside or on the machine on the side. It's just so much easier just to turn it upside down and make access from it, get access to it from here. But I do need to get this back off in order to get the bolts, access the bolts, the mounting bolts that bolt the motor onto the outer drum. So first things first, I've got a Phillips screwdriver and remove the back panel. Just get the Phillips screwdriver and just unscrew these self-tapping screws. Right, so put the drum off, the back cover off rather. That now gives me access to the motor bolts. It's the Torx. That one and that one to remove. There's 4 of them I think. One there, one there, one there, and one down there. Now it's absolutely filthy because all the carbon off the brushes and off the belt as well, the rubber off the belt, all the dust and everything, and the carbon off the brushes. I think high voltages attract a lot of static and a lot of dust. So we've got to get this first pull the coils, get the bolts out. There is a connector block here, electrical connector. Just pull off. That's a protective sheathing, just to make sure that no water gets into it, I presume. It'll have to be disconnected obviously. Disconnect the wire and harness from the motor. These green things are the brushes, carbon brushes. Goes in the stator rings, so it supplies and excites the coils in the rotor. This is the tachometer, it measures the speed of the motor, sends the signals down through the wires into the ECU, or the brain of the washing machine, controls and regulates, well it sends the signals to the ECU. The ECU will then decide how fast the motor is to spin and what direction it's to turn in. And it does that by controlling the voltage or the frequency or something, I'm not quite sure. The tool is an Allen key to remove the bolts, 4 bolts that hold the motor in. So just before I take the motor off I'm just going to demonstrate something. Spinning the drum by hand, you can see just wanted to show that. And it's done with the pulleys and belt system at the back. So I'm going to remove the belt. I'll get the belt removed. Get that. I'll show you that. Dad's actually going to take the belt off. I'll fill him. Quite easy. Just like that. So easy. So that's nailed. That's just the drum turning. But it's filthy, so wash my hands and all. I'll show you the drum turning with the belt off. Still water in it. belt. It's a ribbed belt. So now I'm going to remove the motor. Just use the Allen key. That's pretty much what I'm going to do in this case. To remove them, turn them anti-clockwise and get them removed. There's one last task I'll do before I physically remove the motor, is I'll disconnect the wire and harness as well. So I'm going to film my dad removing the wire and harness from the motor. Plug. And just a push fit plug. What's it called? Multi plug or something. So there's a multi-pin plug. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 wires. I think one of them's the earth wire, I think. There's quite a lot of wires on this one. But that's it, disconnected electrically. This plastic sheathing will be for protecting, stop water going into electrical connections. It's the brush holder. So let's assume it's brush there is left. I don't think there's much left on it actually. But then again, it's spring loaded, so it's hard to tell. There should be wear indicators on there. Actually, these aren't that bad, they were fitted not long ago. So, but there's a spring it's pressing down on them to keep the carbon in contact with the stator, the rotor ring, the armature. So it powers up the armature. Commutator, well that's right, commutator. Yeah, let's physically and mechanically move the motor I'm going to use an Allen key in this instance. Progressively unscrewed it with the Allen key. That's first motor mount bolt out. I'll do the same with the other one. It's difficult filming it and doing this at the same time, but I think you probably have an idea what I'm doing. Just this is the tools that I'm using anyway. There's probably lots of other ways to do it, but this is the way I'm doing it just now. And I've got to get these back ones. That's where the Allen key comes in handy because it's anti-clockwise. Slacking it off. It's not much throw really, but it's because it's positioned. It would have been better if the bolt was at the other side. The head of the bolt was at the other side, but it's not. It's on the inside, making it difficult to access it. The front things were easier, the back two are not so easy because of the way the heads are positioned. As you can see, it's positioned in this one. If it was on this, it'd be a bit easier, I would reckon. This one's even more awkward because the side is on here, that doesn't come off. So it's a bit more awkward to get access to that back bolt. This awkward bolt, we'll use the extension on the hex bit, the Forex bit. It's in a really awkward place. That's the last bolt, and then motor should be free from the outer drum ladder. Remove the motor, so to remove a cable tie that was holding the wire and harness to the motor. That's the main plug. The motor is quite heavy, quite a solid piece of equipment, but that's actually off completely. It's been off before because it's had brushes replaced on it quite a few times. Maybe yeah, you've got to take the motor off to replace the brushes. Do you not? No? Did you replace them with the brush of the motor? You've never had this off before, no?
No.
Oh, right. No, you don't need to take the motor off to replace the brushes. Dad's replaced them with the motor still in situ. So that's the first time that motor's actually been off. You could change the brushes with the motor still in the machine, which I thought would be really awkward because the brushes are at the back, but it's able to be done. So you could change the brushes with the motor still in the machine. Something that I wasn't aware of. I thought you had to take the motor out, but so that's the motor out. I might even take the pump off as well, just to make it even that bit more lighter. It's not that much to do. There's only 3 screws, Phillips screws, and a couple of pipes, an inlet, an outlet pipe, and then there's a wiring connector, and that means the pump can now come out. That was only fitted just earlier this year, that pump, so it's still in good working order. Move the motor out of the way, and then I'll remove the pump, the drain pump. Use pipe clips to squeeze these springs together in order to release the pipes from there's 3 pipes. We've got the overflow pipe as well on this pump. I know the drain pipe rather than the manual drain pipe. The sump, so the water comes into the pump from the drum. That's the outlet pump fixed on with the pipe securers. So you need to be squeezed in order to release the pipes. And then there's an electrical connector and the back there needs to be unplugged, and then 3 Phillips screws. 1, 2 and 3. Squeezing the clips together with the pliers, then the pipe comes off. Just hope there isn't any residual water left in there, but that's the sump. That's the sump. Oh no, the machine's upside down there, so the water will be at the bottom if any, but of course it would. Pumps above it, and there's actually a bit of water anyway inside the pipe itself. But that's the sump pipe input to the pump. That was only put on recently. Now we've got the overflow one. They could probably use pliers to get that. Squeeze it off. Yeah, disconnect it, and then the outlet. Easier to get these other pipes off in the plug. I'm just going to remove the unit off. I'll take the screws out the front, remove the pump from the chassis of the wash machine. Now it's not easy doing this left-handed because I'm filming with my right, but you get the idea what I'm doing with the Phillips screwdriver. And that will then mean I could manoeuvre this around to get access to the wiring harness plug and the other pipes. That's the screws out. Now to get the pump unit out, there is a twist and pull. You've got to twist the unit at this side, just so it turns past these locking knobs, and then it comes out like that. So you can see why I had to, because they go in and it just turns, so they lock past there. There's lugs on the front of the pump there that need to, as you're twisting it, it's locking against there. So to unlock it, you got to twist it down so the lugs go through these. There's 3 holes here for the lugs. Now I can access the pump pipes and the electrical connector much easier now. That's nothing there, just pump's just come out because the front panel's off. I could get really easy access to it now. This pump still works, it's only been put on as a save recently, so it's, I think what I'm going to do with that. I've just squeezed the clip off using the pipe grips, and then the pipe would come off. And this at the same time, but that just unplugs. We don't actually need to take the overflow pipe off because that's part of the pump assembly anyway. It's got the drain plug, but there will probably be a wee bit of water in there, but it doesn't matter. That's the pump removed. 3 screws, hold it in. Just the drain hose, sump, motor's off. That'll probably do for today, I would say. The rest of it will take apart in due course videos, but that'll be it for this video, this episode. Like a wee sort of overview. It's the shock absorbers, so you get a much clearer view of it now. For the suspension, part of the suspension setup. There's a heater element inside the drum, which I'll take out in, not in this video, not in this episode. I've got to other things to do just now, but that's the heating element. Connectors, the thermostat there I think, or that might be it. That's probably it there actually. That'll be power up the element. That'll be the thermostat, that'll be the earth wire for it. And you've got a bolt that secures it in. Okay, so that's the machine right side up. So there's a considerable amount removed. The counterweights at the top, counterweight at the front. The front panel was completely removed. The pump, the drive motor, the belt. Yeah. So as I say, I'll take the rest of this apart and other videos. I'll study into more of this motor, maybe even in a separate video. I might even see if we can get something to power it up as well. See if we can get that done. I've got a pump that's I could power up just like that. I've done that in another video. I'm not going to do it in this one, I've just not got time at the moment. I'm going to get this into storage, the remains of this, and then I'll take all this apart in due course. I'm back to work tomorrow on for a whole week solid, so I won't have time on any of these days, so I'll be done later on in the month. I'll just add these episodes, I'll just add these videos onto the washing machine video series as another episode. So there's quite a few interesting components still to explore. There's a pressure switch, that's the triac, I think that's AC to DC converter. Got the main circuit board, the main brain if you like, the motherboard that controls everything. Got this big mains voltage capacitor, electrical capacitor. You've got the solenoids for the inlet water. You've got the detergent tray. All that's still to come off and examine. The drum, I'll get the whole drum out as well at some point. In another video, take that apart as well if I could. The drum bearing will be difficult to get into, there's heavy sockets and that to get that out. I'd like to explore in there as well, get the heater element out. All that's in due course, but right now, next protocol is to get this into storage, so we get on with the rest of the stuff. Weigh the motor. I didn't get the weight of that yet, so I just remembered to do that before I forget. Weighs 1 stone or 6.5 kilograms. That's the weight of the drive motor. I'll get a photo just to quite heavy. Pump, it's a lot lighter, but it doesn't even show much for digital scales. It's probably about a kilogram or something. So the pump, it's 453 grams, it's about half a kilogram. That's it for this episode. It's always a manky job. You always get more dirty than you think. The motor's filthy with the carbon brushes. It's just a messy job. Quite awkward at times, getting into some of the bolts, but on the whole it was alright. Dad's used to this kind of stuff. It's not new to him. But for me anyway, I've always been interested in this kind of thing. Just exploring in at my own leisure, at my own rate. So let's tidy up, I've got things to do. So that's it for this episode. See what else I put on my channel. Like I say, my channel's got everything on it from this to that to everything else. So see what other videos I put up as well. And thanks for watching, I'll catch you later. Okay. Bye for now. See you later. Bye.